Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Christian. It's
Morning,
a little noisy in here this morning.
Yeah, it is a bit noisy here this morning. Sorry for all the racket. We're cutting parts out right next to us, actually.
Yeah, we're actually hosting, I think there are 3 different companies coming in here together to see some of the newest technology that we have to offer. So hopefully it doesn't distract us too much, and also hopefully it doesn't distract you too much.
All right, so let's get into it. Welcome to TCA. We are live at Weinig Holz-Her USA in Mooresville, North Carolina. We got a really cool show for you guys, but to start things off, the first thing that we want to talk about is the big news that came out last week.
Last week, big news.
Yep, absolutely. So big news, the LIGNA show in Hanover has been canceled. The next LIGNA show to take place will be in
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not postponed. It postponed it was supposed to be held in May this year. They postponed it. They pushed it out to September. But now they have officially canceled it for this year.
They have.
There's no way to reschedule it for next year, so it pushes to 2023.
Yeah, 2023. So, Andy, as you know, and maybe as our audience knows, the folks from LIGNA, first of all, they're great.
Yeah.
And they seem to frequent TCA weekly.
Yeah. Maybe behind the scenes a bit, right?
Yeah,
so
maybe.
So they have reached out. Some of the folks at LIGNA have commented to us. They've stayed in touch with us. We announced months ago that we were going to. They had given us the permission to live stream. We were going to take the TCA to the Weinig booth at LIGNA this year, and so we were super excited about that. So obviously that's not happening this year. We'll look forward to doing that in 2023 maybe, But in the meantime, they have been in touch with us over the last few days, and Christian was able. He asked them or offered to them to let them make an announcement in the U.S. concerning the decision.
Right. So we had a Zoom call yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon late
with Mr. Christian Pfeiffer, the director of LIGNA, just to kind of explain the reasoning and the rationale behind the decision that was made last week. And so we want to play that for everybody this morning.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Andy, without further ado,
let's jump into it.
We'll get that rolling, and then we'll be back at you after that.
All right. So we're pleased to be here in a virtual meeting with the director of LIGNA, Christian Pfeiffer. Christian, welcome. Nice to have you here. We want to just kind of give you a platform to let us, at least here in the U.S., know, the decision about LIGNA. What exactly is it? And how did you come to that determination?
Thank you for having me, actually. I think this is a format that is not only limited to the US. I really like it, and I'm a regular on that. So I think it has a worldwide span already. So thank you very much for having me, and I'm very happy, to let you know what led us, VDMA Association, Woodworking Machinery, and us to the decision to have the next present LIGNA in 2023. The main reason is, if you take a close look at the DNA of LIGNA, it is that machinery from all over the world, plant and equipment, of course, along the full value added chain, are live demonstrated here every second year along the innovation of the industry in Hanover. And this is something we need to run up to, even in a pandemic time. And having the situation right now, not only in Europe and Germany, but also all across the world, where our customers and our visitors come from, that the speed of vaccination is, has not quite picked up as we hoped for by September. We took the decision together with the industry that we shall not go down that road and have a present show here in Hanover, because the reason why and the timing right now is that ahead of a show, our companies, our exhibitors need to take investment decisions in building machinery, in planning the plans, the machinery, the setup for the show. They need to start the logistics for the show, book hotel rooms, do everything. So right now we are in this corridor where investments are fixed. And before doing that, we wanted to take a responsible decision for exhibitors, because there's a lot of money involved, and for the visitors to say, we are now taking the decision not to hold that postponed LIGNA, because we already postponed LIGNA from May to September. and yeah, took the decision together with the industry, together with our co-organizer VDMA, to not hold LIGNA in September. And yeah, it is for sure a very hard decision, because it's the first time in a more than 40-year history not to have the largest show in woodworking in the world.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it boils down. Yeah.
Yeah. So Christian, this is Andy, and thanks for joining us on this today. But so some of the things that you mentioned, where you were talking with the exhibitors, for here in the U.S. we certainly hear of LIGNA. But maybe some of the folks in the U.S. don't really understand what because that's a huge thing to discuss with the exhibitors at a show like LIGNA, and get their feedback and to make this big decision. It impacts so many people around the world. Could you tell us a little bit, maybe first give an idea of how many exhibitors actually exhibit at LIGNA? Maybe tell the U.S. market a little more about, in the U.S. we know the IWF, the show that we have in Atlanta every other year, is considered the largest show in North America. But as someone who has been to LIGNA, it kind of it's much smaller than the LIGNA show. So maybe give us an idea of just how many exhibitors are there, and then a little bit about maybe an understanding of what that process was like to get that feedback from those exhibitors that led to this decision.
Great, thank you, Andy. Of course. Yeah, 2019 at LIGNA, we had more than 1,500 exhibitors in 10 halls. If I'm not mistaken, IWF runs in 2 halls. We have 10 halls that are comparable along the full value-added chain. So from forestry to sawmilling, wood-based panel production, and of course all machinery for the furniture industry, for workshops and everything all around woodworking. So we had more than 90,000 visitors coming from more than 100 nations, and 42% of all those came from outside Germany. So it is a very international show. It's a huge show. People coming from abroad, they in average stay more than 2.5 days here, exactly 2.9 days. So they travel, invest, and see and look, because that's a pure market overview. The trade shows in Europe actually are a lot different to the ones in the United States. And I saw a couple of those from Portland to Atlanta, but also in different industries. In Javits in New York, for example, food shows are very different to everything you can experience here in Europe. It's full machinery running, building kitchen cabinets is shown live here in action. And you can really experience what an innovation, a real process innovation or product innovation is worth, and what's the reason to invest in this kind of equipment, in this kind of network, and the options you have. And going from Germany, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, Sweden, China, we have more than, I think it's nearly 50 exhibiting countries here. So, and I think this leads to the to the decision. We are in a constant communication with the market, not only here in Germany, Italy, and Austria. Those are the big 3 nations in woodworking, as you know, but also through our sales partners around the world, from China and Sweden, of course, in the United States, through our daughter company. We ask the people, what are the odds to come, and it's a constant communication and a feedback how the situation is. And it's not only having the risk was not only to have a national show in regards to visitors, but only in regards to exhibitors. And this is what LIGNA is about. It's about pure internationality in both ways, exhibitors and visitors, and of course not harm the brand and the experience LIGNA is offering. We took together with the market so that there's no harm to potential investments, to spending money and everything. We took this decision together, and that's the outcome.
I think it's very, honestly, I think it's commendable because you know, I'm sure it was a very difficult decision, but you know, you just said you're having folks travel from 150 different countries, all
100.
into
100.
100 different countries coming into LIGNA. That's I mean, that's folks from all over the world, and so to ensure that that international scene, that would be very difficult during these times. I'm sure it was a very difficult decision. Christian, can you just kind of go into a little bit, not a lot of detail, but what does LIGNA have planned next? What do you guys have up your sleeve? I mean, we're all looking forward to 2023, obviously, but what are you guys thinking about in the meantime?
Is of course what LIGNA is all about is to connect people, to give the opportunity to present technology, innovation, ideas, and to have a feeling that the investment as an entrepreneur is right. To spend money with someone coming from Italy or Germany and yourself being from the United States, for example, you need to trust people when you invest money. And with the trade show, our customer is part of the product, actually. So what we try to do is to take those main aspects of trade shows, put them together and try to create a new format that brings people together exact the same way I just described, but in a virtual way. We're not going to copy LIGNA and try to paste it into the digital world. This is not going to happen, and it's not going to work. I'm very sure on that. But what we can offer is a platform where our customers, the machinery manufacturers, can produce content for social networks, for channels like yours, of course, also from different companies. And of course, help them create content for their marketing automation, for their directed newsletters to inform their potential customers about what's new, what's going on, and where is it running to. So what we did 2 weeks ago with Hannover Messe, the largest industrial fair in the world, is exactly that we put together a digital event, a digital edition of Hannover Messe, where customers had the option to screen live during those 5 show days, to have a complete digital profile to go into connection with the visitors of this website. So it was a real network opportunity. And what we reached was 93,000 people entering the show, and 70% of those were completely new to our database. So they never visited Hanover before when we had a physical show. So there is a mass of people that is interested in exactly those topics, but for whatever reason, they didn't travel to Hanover yet, but they want to be part of the network. And I'm very confident that we have something like this in the woodworking world, and we would like to give our customers the opportunity to enter that. And this is what, the exhibitors, Weinig Holz-Her, of course, at a very first position, can expect from us to be developed in September this year.
We're excited to hear it.
Yeah.
Very excited to hear it.
Yeah, we talk so often about how our industry has been slow to adopt some of the technology, and that's encouraging to hear that you've tried something. You had 93,000 people to participate. That's pretty amazing.
For Hannover Messe, for Hannover Messe, which is a show that is, of course, for the whole industry, not only woodworking, but it is we have to see if we set our goals that high. I would rather go into a different direction, but I think we will get quite a good feedback if we manage to produce or to develop something pretty similar. Yeah.
Well, I think
I love the approach that you're not trying to just do LIGNA virtually.
Right. Right.
It has to be different because we're using different tools. It's a different platform. It's a different media. So it is going to have to be different. Get the same message across maybe, but it just can't be LIGNA virtually.
Yeah, exactly. LIGNA is LIGNA, and it has its own DNA, and this is actually located in Hanover, and it is live and running and has a certain smell to it, a certain sound, and a certain feeling. And this is what you cannot actually adopt. You have to start new, and this is what we'll do.
Christian, I think you guys are, I think the world of you all over there. A lot of respect for you and your team, and a lot of respect for LIGNA. Keeping it pure, keeping it international, and making the right decisions. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best to you. We can't wait to see what you guys roll out in September.
Yeah, good luck. We wish you the best. We hope that it's super successful, and quite frankly, you do things that we can copy.
Exactly. This is what I mentioned. So thank you very much, you guys, for having me and for your encouragement. I really look forward to more of your broadcasts. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. All right, Andy. So
how about that? Doing things different. They're not just going to go. They're not going to try to make LIGNA virtual. They have something new coming.
So okay. So I'm going to take a second and just share my opinion about this. The conversation that we had that you guys just heard with Christian from LIGNA.
Thanks, Christian, for joining us.
First of all, shout out to Christian. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for coming on and really giving a message that I thought, here's my 2 cents, that I thought was absolutely not only the right call, but the right rationale for the call. Because here's the thing, LIGNA is LIGNA, and that was perfectly said. LIGNA is LIGNA. It has its own DNA. It has it has a sense. It has its smell. Yeah. It has a touch. You just know what LIGNA is, and I think that it became clear this year that they could not have LIGNA as we know LIGNA in Hanover, and because of that, they are preserving what is LIGNA.
Right, they were protecting the brand,
right? They are protecting the brand and the exhibitors. Yeah. Because let's not forget, putting together a trade show, I know for folks who go and attend trade shows, you have to make travel plans, you have to get away from your business for a few days, I get that. But for folks who exhibit at trade shows, it's a huge investment, not just monetarily, but of time and resources and energy and everything else. And so...
And if you've seen some of the booths, I'm sure a lot of people from the U.S. have been to LIGNA, and if you've seen the booths over there, it's amazing the technology that they're trying to put in large booths, but still a relatively small space. And so you can imagine what goes into putting that together ahead of the show and tearing it down after the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big investment.
And when Christian was saying how LIGNA is such an international fair, it is an international fair. Again, that's in the DNA of LIGNA, and with the current circumstances, international travel is, he said 42, sketchy at best.
42% of the visitors are international.
Yeah. Wow.
Of 90 plus thousand people that go to that show, 42% of them, getting close to half of them, are coming from outside of Germany.
So therefore, again, you just look at the current climate, and is that possible? Is that feasible? Again, I think the world of LIGNA, I think the decision was a good decision, and even better than the decision itself was the rationale behind the decision. So well put by the director of LIGNA, Christian Pfeiffer, just so well put, and I can't, my hat's off to them. I think that that's a world-class organization with a lot of talent. I cannot wait for 2023, the next LIGNA, because I'm ready for a LIGNA, a true LIGNA. And if I have to wait
what's it going to look
years,
like, right? They're going to learn so many lessons in whatever is to come. They gave us a hint that something is coming. It's not just going to be a virtual LIGNA, but something's coming in the meantime. And all of the lessons they're going to learn, what's LIGNA going to look like in 2023? It's going to be there's a lot. Could be a lot of buildup and a lot of pent-up
Absolutely.
demand. A lot of people are going to be really excited to see what happens at LIGNA.
Absolutely, and I'm excited. So, so yes, bravo to everybody on LIGNA. Again, thank you to Christian and the LIGNA team for giving us some time yesterday to put together that that address. We'll have it on our Facebook and our YouTube page along with it embedded in this live stream as well.
Yeah, and a reminder, we're live, so if you've got comments, I see a comment from Jack DeGraff from up in Maine, thanking us for the update. Jack, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting a comment in the field there.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody.
So moving on to some other industry
Come
news.
back across the pond.
Yeah, we're gonna hop back across the pond.
Well, let's talk about it because there's big news happening next week here in the U.S. concerning trade shows.
Yeah.
That's when we get the official announcement, right? We all think that AWFS will happen, but we get the official announcement May 1st, I believe, right?
I think it's May 1st or May 6th or sometime there.
next week.
Things are looking good for AWFS in Vegas. Vegas is starting to open back up. I believe I just read this morning that hotel lobbies and casinos are back at 80% capacity starting in May. So things are slowly but surely opening back up in Las Vegas, and AWFS right now is on, and for Weinig Holz-Her USA, we're getting ready for it.
Yeah.
So we're excited
Lots of new
about
machinery we're taking over.
Lots
we're
of
gonna
new
have
machinery.
We're gonna have the TCA set in the booth.
We'll be there live streaming TCA and some virtual demonstrations from the booth to those who are not at the show, who want to join us virtually.
Maybe we'll grab some guys for some interviews too. Some of our
Absolutely.
customers that we haven't been able to get around to everyone that show something interesting. If you watched last week, actually last week was our #1 viewed video on Facebook.
Yo, okay, last week, big shout out to everybody over at Roy's Wood Products. You guys rocked it. We were on location, TCA, last week at Roy's. Let's see, shout out to Russell, who showed us around Roy's. A great operation, running a Hydromat 3000 like a boss in there. I'm telling you what, that thing was rocking, and we got some great footage of that. And also shout out to the one and only Chad Sloan for
that's probably why we got the most views,
for an epic intro into Roy's. So so absolutely a very popular live stream. If you guys haven't watched it yet, check it out. It's in our history on YouTube and also on Facebook. It was last week's TCA.
I got to give a shout out to my good friend Jeff Robinson up in Michigan checking us out.
So
good to hear from you, Jeff. Hope things are well.
So so if you haven't watched the Roy's broadcast, go back and watch it. It's excellent. It's awesome. We had a great time doing it last week. Okay, so let's get to it, Andy. What's going on in the industry right now?
Well, as far as the housing market, it's still big news. Things are changing. I'm starting to read other things about what's going on. We are going long on this, so I'll try not to go too long. But some of the things that are in the news. Housing starts, of course, are still predicted to be up. Single-family starts are way up. They're thinking that the single-family starts will eventually give us the inventory that we need. So because right now it's hard to find houses, which is driving prices through the roof.
That's right.
That's going to settle down, perhaps some towards the end of the year. Interest rates are still predicted to stay low, stay in the low threes. Anyway, towards the end of the year, starting to see a little bit of. What were they calling it? Where they're asking for extensions on mortgages and things like that.
Sure. Forbearance, I believe.
Yeah, forbearance, exactly. There you go. So it's a term that I wasn't familiar with before, but apparently that's a big term when you go back to 2008. Not expecting anything like 2008, but they are expecting some of our homeowners to be a little upside down in 2021. But only as compared to 2020, which no one got into that spot because there was so much forgiveness given. So still expecting big things for the housing industry, which drives us. Had a great dinner last night with some customers in the industry from down in Arkansas, and they were all saying how busy they are and how they are predicting that this year will be very strong all the way through the end of the year, all the way through some time. I think the debate right now is how long will it last into 2022. Some are saying the first half of the year, some are saying all year. So it kind of depends on what segment you're in.
Right.
That was kind of the gist of the conversation last night, was that they're expecting it to carry through this year, and also they don't know how long it's going to last next year.
Yep. Yep. So still good news. Hopefully, we're coming down into more an even keel scenario.
Yep.
And we'll have to see how the material prices or the material cost is going to play out through the rest of the year. I think.
Well, it's not even just material cost, right? It's just the availability too. So the cost is part of it.
Yep.
Availability is part of it. The container shortage. If any of you guys are importing from overseas, there's a container shortage right now. One of the guys I was talking with last night brings in a lot of panel goods from. Specifically, he was talking about Vietnam, I think, and he said he's actually bringing in break bulk. So as soon as he can get it, if he can get any amount, he's putting it in a break bulk vessel and putting it in the belly of a ship. And he said, yeah, it comes in, there's more risk that it's going to be damaged, but at least he can get it.
Right.
That's all they can do. They're doing all they can do. Our industry has been great to pivot, right? Our industry continues to pivot to be successful in these uncertain times.
All right, and we've talked about this before, so we won't spend a lot of time on it, but one of the big pivots that this industry is taking is, again, towards automation. It's, with what's happening with material, with what's happening with labor, again, we are just pushing forward into automation to automate processes in shops, to automate flows in manufacturing. And, I got to say it, the team over here at Weinig Holz-Her USA, every day we're talking about it. Every day we are brainstorming about it. Every day we're talking to our customers, to potential customers, about how we can better automate processes in real life manufacturing. Yeah. This isn't just like in an ideal manufacturing environment. No, we talk about real life manufacturing here at Weinig Holz-Her, and we go into real shops. We talk to real shop owners and talk about how we can automate their current processes. Not how to revamp the whole thing, start from scratch. No, it's how to actually automate what they're already doing.
Yeah.
The team here is absolutely great on this. A big shout out to everybody in our digital solutions department. I mean, they're top notch. And,
if you'd like to know more about that, we are in early stages right now, but we are planning an event later in the fall this year. Jeff Robinson, you mentioned you were asking about the new Holz-Her 5-axis. We will show that in the Vegas show, but we will also have that here when we have our event in the fall. We are working out the details. Look for some of you guys will probably get some personal invitations out there. We will have an open house portion of it. We're going to do a lot of good things. And since we're thinking of doing it in October, since Oktoberfest in Germany is probably going to be canceled as well, maybe we'll do something here in Mooresville.
So more to come on our October event. I think that's going to be really cool, but more to come on that in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Andy. So again, just big news from last week.
Yeah.
Cancellation of LIGNA, and the rationale behind that, as you guys saw earlier on this live stream.
Maybe by next Tuesday we'll have an announcement for AWFS.
That's right.
Maybe someone from AWFS could come on next Tuesday and talk to us about it.
Calling them out. I like it. All right. So yeah, just a couple housekeeping notes before we close out our TCA live stream today. Okay, if you're still watching, first of all, congratulations. You made it to the end of the stream. Yeah. That's awesome. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Go over to YouTube, search out Weinig Holz-Her USA, and subscribe to the channel. All right, you'll get notifications when we put up new videos, such as Answers in the Tool Room.
Yep.
Great video series about how-tos, simple maintenance and how-to features on our machines. And also our newest video series, Meet the Team. We're releasing 1 or 2 Meet the Team videos each week.
I think you're going to release a pretty impressive one maybe today or tomorrow or sometime this week.
So we'll see about that, Andy. So Andy's Meet the Team video will be dropping this afternoon. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when we release Meet the Team videos. Just a great way to put faces to names.
Yeah, exactly.
For folks that you may talk to here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Especially during this time when we can't really you know, we can't go to big events and network like we used to.
Can't shake as many hands, can't kiss as many babies.
That's exactly right. So so we're putting together personal videos just to help you know who we are. So yeah, a great video series. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. We'll have this video archived. So yeah, other than that,
Very good.
yeah.
Guys, have a great week.
Have a great week. Stay healthy and stay positive. We'll see you next week on TCA.